I am Valerie Aiello, and you are listening to Idea Diary. How's it going? If anyone's out there, I'm back and I'm ready for another show. Let's see, anything new? I've researching, I'm still diving deep into the Monique story. There's a lot of stuff to cover. A lot of what happened with her kind of started the drama, I guess. I feel like, at least from what I can tell, started with the Precious story, working with Lee Daniels. So some of the things I found out about that was that she did all the North American publicity for the movie Precious. She had a talk show on BET at the time. So she had this show. She also had a comedy tour that was being, I don't know what the dates and all the ins and outs of the tour were doing, but she was doing stand-up comedy, a working comic. She had a talk show, a nighttime talk show on BET. She just filmed this movie for way less money, for $50,000 and for 5% of the back end. She would make $50,000 in 1 hour doing stand-up. So she did Precious for the art of it. She was friends with the director. He asked her to do the movie. She liked the script and she did it. No one knew it was going to be a huge hit. So then Lionsgate bought the movie. I guess Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry bought into the movie. I'm not sure how that whole thing worked or if they were around from the beginning. I'm not sure exactly, but somehow they got involved, and then she did all this press for free, going to all the talk shows, in America. She lived in Atlanta, Georgia, and Lionsgate called her and said, will you go to the Cannes Film Festival to promote the movie? And she wanted, it was just family time. When you're that busy and you're not dazzled by going to another film festival and another award show, because at that she might have been nominated at the time, and so that's why they were pushing this movie hard with the publicity, but she didn't do the movie to win an award. She wasn't going to make any more money, and if it's a business, why would you spend your own money when this movie obviously has an advertising and marketing budget? Why wouldn't they send her? Why wouldn't they pay for that? I don't know. So she said no, and they asked her, I think, 3 times, and then she finally, her husband, who was her manager, who people say is working not in her best interest, and she's being mind controlled by him, basically. Which is really insulting if she's not. But yeah, so he finally came back with, okay, well, we've declined to do this publicity and going overseas, which they said they did say they would pay for her hotel and pay for her flight. They were just going to send her over there. All she had to do was show up. But I'm thinking, if you have a talk show and you're in movies and you're working stand-up comic, your time, you kind of know your time is money. You're not trying to make more money off of another project, So it totally makes sense for him to come back with a response saying, well, are you going to pay her to fly over there? Because, I guess if there's an offer, we can consider it. But if there's not an offer, it's not like she knew she was going to be asked this. This all came at this next level situation of this movie being so good after it was made and people loving it. there was no way to know that would happen. So anyway, I don't know. I feel like this story, although important on the level of what women, the offer that women and black women and actors in general will accept to be in a movie, to do the work that they love. That money offer, what she's, I think, fighting for is you can't say yes to lowball offers because there's this promise that you're going to get paid next time. Well, just do this one for cheap because next time you're going to get a lot of money. And I think the reason why I'm diving into this story and trying to figure out what is the question I'm trying to figure out for me as an artist, as somebody that used to think, and I do still think that you have to kind of prove, you have to work for free at some level. You got to, there's a point though when you don't have to work for free anymore. Stephen King has written so many books that, like, there's a point where you're just proven. You've made a certain number of inventions and apps or whatever, and you have, I understand there's a certain point that you have to prove yourself until you're valuable just to be paid out the gate. But where is the line? And are we all screwing ourselves over as artists and creators by working for free when you don't really have to? There might be another way to do it. There might be another way to work on your project and get paid out the gate. And so maybe I feel like I could be thinking about this wrong, and I'm trying to figure it out. And I think there's something in this Monique story that has some value and could possibly, I don't know. I feel like she's really taking a stance, and she's diving into the possibilities of what could be. Even if she, from what I can tell, she doesn't really care if she ever works again, because she's, at this point, it's ridiculous, and she's been lied about, and she's, and it could be true. She could be a totally awful person that they treat everyone like crap, her and her husband, and they're a nightmare to work with, but it also could be not true. And I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out the story, because this is, even though a lot of this started 10 years ago, it is, she's still talking about it today because it's not resolved. And there's still people talking about how bad of a person she is. And so another thing to that story was that when she won the Oscar, she didn't feel like that changed her life. It wasn't like the most life-changing moment to her, because she wanted to be a comedian and a talk show host. When acting wasn't the biggest passion in her life, she could just do it well. And I guess there was a bit of luck that kind of happened where she was in this movie. It was so great. And, all her talent just shined through to a level of she won. But she wasn't, she's just, from what she said, she's not, like, the awards aren't the end-all be-all for her. Her having a happy life and a family and a dog and kids and a husband, that's more meaningful to her than being the greatest actress in the world and money. So when the next Oscars came around, I guess they asked her, as a tradition, to present whatever Oscar she won to the next person who was winning. And she just said, because she didn't live in LA, she wasn't, I'm guessing there's some level of, when you go to an award show, that you get a dress, you get jewelry, you get your hair done, you have to look a certain part. So she needed, I guess what she just asked for out the gate was, okay, I'll come be on your TV show, but I need plane tickets for me and my team, which was her and hair and makeup stylist, I guess. I don't know. From what she said, it seemed like 4 people. Plane tickets for 4 people. And maybe a hotel room. I don't know. I don't know how much she was asking for, but it was definitely those plane tickets. And kind of, if you're going to invite me to be on your TV show, then pay me, which again seems kind of reasonable. And they said no. I don't know how that all panned out, but that's the level of the story. It's just like another one of those stories where, again, she didn't know that she would be invited again. She didn't ask to be invited again. She just said it wasn't worth her time to do it. And I don't think she was asking to get paid. She was just saying, I don't want to be out of pocket. If you were just a businessman, it would be silly to ask people to do stuff for free on some level. I don't know. There's something there that I feel like maybe taking a stand was the right thing to do. This show's going to make however many dollars it makes airing on TV. And, to make a show happen, certain things need to get paid for. And why not? Why not just give $2,000? I mean, there's only so many presentations to one of the presenters to fly their team in. It seems like such a small amount of money compared to what's happening, as far as creating a one-night TV show. But again, I'm still diving deep. I feel like, I'm researching this. How far is too far to work for free? What's the limit? What's that threshold? Are you going to work for free forever? Because that does happen, and that is an option for some people. Do you want this just to be a hobby, so you're doing it for free because you enjoy it? Or do you want to make big bucks being a creator? And what's the threshold of working for free? How much? How long? Bands work for free. They play shows all the time, whether or not people come. There's a lot of elements to being successful, and it's hard to know what to do all the time. And I feel like maybe working for free, even though it seems like what you have to do to get to where you want to be. But at the same time, I think we're all taking it to this level of it's not right. And if maybe everyone kind of put their foot down, maybe there'd be more money to be made in the right way. Because I often think of internet radio stations where the digital side and the tech side of it, they're making huge big bucks. And then the music side of it, they're making pennies. But internet radio stations would not exist without the music. I feel like there should be more of a 50-50 split with that. I'm pretty sure it's not fair. I know they tried to make a internet radio station that actually paid the artist what they're worth, but called Tidal. Not really sure if that even exists anymore. But I'm diving deep into the Monique story. I'm sorry if it's not interesting, but there's a lot more. We're getting to the 15-minute mark for today's show. There's more that I'm learning. There's more drama. There's more people speaking out against her that think she's awful to work with. The Netflix thing, maybe that was overblown, but maybe not. It's hard to know when it's hard to know what other people are dealing with in their life when there are people that don't tell the truth or say one thing in person and another thing to the public. It's wild. But I think it's a really important story to look into. And yeah, I don't know. Just those are the thoughts of the day. That's kind of what I've been diving into on my daily hours of research, YouTube research, business YouTube that I do. I also just wanted to remind everybody to take chances. You can take a chance and try something, and you can do it without everyone watching. You don't have to tell anybody. You can write a record and never release it. You can make a movie and never release it. You can write a book and never release it. And then you can write another one if that one is too embarrassing to show to the world. Just make things and take chances. And sometimes you got to embarrass yourself to get to the better parts of what you can do. Like this show, for example, is probably awful, but the only way I know how to get better is to start. So I am here, just want to have that reminder to take chances, do something that you really want to do. And there really is no penalty except for people thinking you aren't very good. And really, no one cares. No one is watching your stuff and thinking, oh, I feel so bad for them. Like, why are they even trying? Because even if they are, it's not important. Because there's going to be one day when you do impress them and you are good, and they're going to think back, oh, I was such a jerk. I can see now that it was practice that needed to happen, and they're actually really good, and they've got something going on. So I guess that is it for the day. And just more thoughts coming tomorrow, I guess. And happy Saturday. See you later. I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.